And I'll lend a helping hand with your investigation. I know Junior's like the back of my hand. Go over to the bed. I'll transport you back to the real world. Meet back.
Alrighty.
Oh, shit. Who's that one?
Every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna.
Oh, it's a Gmod game? Fuck.
Every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna. always tell me he miss it, he wanna. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it, he wanna.
How do I download this?
Hola, yo soy Sion. Bueno, para descargar una skin, deben buscar un enlace Drive, para saber todo sobre las skins, dónde se consiguen, cómo se hacen, etc.
When your game is incredible and
From me headphones. From my headphones. Bing Bong Joseph Doodle. Damn. You wanna know something funny? I forget who it was, but oh wait, no, wait, hold your horses. Man arrested for abducting young girl he met on Roblox. Oh what? Oh what? Gene, guess what I got? Candy cane. I know, I bought a box of them. Jeez. What the hell? What are you streaming, Jade?
Let's play.
Jeepers, what that was so loud? What?
Can you see my screen? Like, what are you looking at right now? Oh, I see. I see, I see. I'm gonna get banned. So, fuck. I gotta think wise about my words. I downloaded a game called Fap Nights at Frenny's. Oh my god. Insect tier list. Isn't that neat? Ugh. Ah! Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Fuck. Just give me a second. Insect tier list. Let's go.
If you want to ace your paper, download Grammarly. Are you me?
Skip the ad.
Yeah.
Skip the
3
ad.
months. See, I love.
Skip the ad. What are you doing? Skip the ad. What is... Hello?
Hi.
Shut up, Jack. Jack! Jack! Bro, only let me watch Jaden. Yeah, Jaden just like AFK. What the fuck was that? Jack, you wanna play some Mortal Kombat?
No.
Guess who I'm playing now? I was playing Rambo. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Bro, I'm gonna fall asleep if Jaden doesn't hurry the fuck up. I'm actually gonna fall asleep. Yeah. Where the fuck did Jake go? I just saw him on the camera and he just disappeared.
He went to Flavor Town.
He went what?
He went to Flavor Town.
Flavor Town.
Hold up. Listen, guys. I'm back. I had to do something.
Did you go to Flavor Town?
Yeah.
Oh.
Buddy.
Let's watch the insect tier list.
Oh, no, I'm not okay.
Streaming it on Discord and streaming it on YouTube.
Insects are one of the most broken factions the game has ever seen. Nowhere else in nature will you find such an incredible concentration of abilities that are not only overpowered, but also extremely unique. It's tough to even know where to start when talking about what makes insects such a successful group, because in a lot of cases, it's not just that their individual abilities are overpowered,
Bro,
but some of them feel like they
this
should be
is like
mutually
barely
exclusive,
loading.
since they're just insanely OP
Discord?
when used in combination with one another. You'll see what I mean once I get into the tier.
Discord
list, but
doesn't
first,
work on
a brief
YouTube.
Overview of the insect faction's general attributes and
Yes,
history.
like the video.
Insects were
Fucking
added to the
pictures,
game
pretty
during
much.
the early Carboniferous expansion. The devs bumped up the atmospheric oxygen level, which allowed members of the Arthropod faction to adopt larger sizes and more costly abilities. And while most of the Arthropod player base was trying to dominate the land by leveling up their size,
I like this
a
guy.
small offshoot of the crustacean player base opted to forego the gigantism trait, and instead used this oxygen bonus to unlock an ability never before seen in-game, flight. Because these new creatures were the very first to gain the ability to fly, the air became entirely their domain for the time being, and would remain that way until reptiles unlocked the ability several expansions later. Insects are extremely diverse in their abilities and stat spreads. In fact, they're so diverse that it's impossible to include them all in a single video.
What are you laughing
It's
about?
fairly generalized. Truth be told, many of the groups
I'm
we'll be discussing
watching
today
Super
have so
Friends.
many standout members that they
Jack, watch the insect tier list for fuck's sake.
themselves. So it's a little tough to pin down their general attributes, but there are a few commonalities. Being members of
Shit,
the
I can't
Arthropod
find your
faction,
fucking name
all
on
insects
it.
are granted the exoskeletal armor,
Go ahead.
which greatly raises their AC compared to soft-bodied builds of similar sizes, with the only downside being a massive reduction in those same defensive stats for a short time every time the player levels up. This makes insects quite tanky on average, allowing them to
Yeah.
excel in combat. The insect build also has access to the
Please.
Compound Eyes perk, which grants them vastly improved
Underscore
awareness compared to other arthropods like
32.
scorpions and centipedes. With 360-degree vision, their ability to avoid obstacles,
Wait,
dodge attacks,
and I can't find
and
you
targets
shit.
while flying is far
Then
superior.
fucking look harder, dumbass.
This enhanced perception perk is
I looked up
insects
Skohan
tend to have
space
naturally high stealth,
underscore
so
13.
in
Just
order to complete
look up
the
Skoan
perk,
or underscore 13 then.
is required.
Search up have a seat.
Scratch the surface of the insane abilities insects have access
Aren't
to
you subscribed?
more in-
Are you not fucking subscribed to me?
We know you're hovering over that button.
Don't you have glasses, you fucking four-eyed faggot?
We promise.
Shut the hell up.
Not bright enough. Make
No, I'm
it
not
flat.
subscribed. You're a pussy.
Still not enough? Alright.
Go XLR.
On the tier list,
Fight.
we have the silverfish. The silverfish is the most primitive insect build still in
Yeah,
existence.
silverfish
It
took
kind of
the
blurs
L.
the line between what is and is not considered an insect, and not in a good way.
Low tier mob in Minecraft, low tier mob in real life, man.
Drop the flight ability in favor of more refined
Low tier
strategies.
AI,
The
bro.
silverfish build actually never had access to it in the first place.
They missed the
Aside
last
from having
patch.
an
They are not
exoskeleton, they don't really have
Bro,
any of the
they got-
abilities
they
that
got
make
fucking
insects
nerfed, man.
powerful. They
Watching
do not
this
have
shit.
wings and have essentially no combat abilities. They have fairly low
No, they got
defenses and
vaulted.
get bodied left and right by pretty much everything, with their only useful stat
Alright,
being
everyone
their
shut up. I
decently
actually
high
want to
movement
watch this
speed.
video.
Their special ability allows them to gain XP from eating cellulose and lignin, meaning they can farm XP from wooden structures, which normally don't grant any experience. This ability would be fairly powerful in forest biomes, but because they're such weak combatants, they tend to actually stick to urban areas, feeding on things like paper and cloth, in the relative safety of houses, apartments, and office spaces. Even there, they aren't completely safe though. And while no build is ever truly safe in the insect meta, the silverfish's extreme lack of useful abilities places it firmly in F tier. That's honestly the only insect build I believe deserves an F tier ranking. Most insects are quite viable, and even the less viable ones tend to have at least a few useful things going for them, even if those things aren't necessarily broken.
Loaded.
First in D tier, we have the Phasmid build, which includes walking sticks and leaf mimics. These builds sport what are unquestionably some of the most impressive camouflage abilities in the entire game, second only to color-changing builds like the Octopus and Chameleon. As I'm
Shit's fucking 27 minutes long.
I constantly end up asking is this really necessary? Because with the exception of insects which deliberately lower their somatic coloration
Jesus
status,
Christ.
Just fucking watch
Ears are ringing.
your ears, oh.
maintain this while still speccing into other equally impressive abilities. Their camouflage can only take them so far. While they're near undetectable while remaining motionless, walking sticks still need to move to find food. And while they do mimic the movement of a swaying leaf or branch, this certainly isn't perfect. In fact, if they're ever caught in an environment where camouflage doesn't match as well, their instincts to sway and move can actually end up giving their position away even more, rather than aiding in their attempts to hide. Some phasmids do possess chemical defenses, but as we'll see further up the tier list, this attack is quite mild compared to the heat some other insects are packing. Phasmids have a similar game plan to sloths, complete with all the major flaws this strategy is riddled with. Although at least phasmids don't completely forego all common sense and make a dangerous trek to the forest floor once a week just to poop. Next in D tier, we have the Lepidopterans, the faction which includes moths, butterflies, and skippers. At first glance, these may seem like absolute bottom tier builds. They're among the most vulnerable builds in the game when it comes to combat, with extremely squishy defensive stats and utterly abysmal offensive abilities. Many of the larval forms of these builds are 100% defenseless and have a mobility stat in the single digits, literally the freest kills in the game. However, the Lepid player base is quite crafty and has come up with a few ways of at least sort of mitigating their many weaknesses. Caterpillars and adult lepids alike can adopt quite convincing disguises, some designed to help them blend in, and some designed to intimidate. Granted, these strategies often don't hold up against high intelligence builds, but it does help. Some caterpillars spec into quite potent defenses, like spines and toxins, which make them simply not worth the potential damage to take on. And credit where credit is due, even though they still are fairly defenseless, butterflies and moths do have excellent mobility, and can fly much greater distances than most insect builds. This enables them to avoid high conflict areas of the map, and reach higher quality loot that might be too rare for most players to rely on. Their massive wings, in addition to being highly customizable for a variety of stealth or intimidation purposes, also just make them look much larger than insects of comparable body sizes, which helps dissuade attacks. But ultimately, lepids still take plenty of L's, and most high-tier insect builds have quite oppressive matchups against them, so they're definitely a below-average faction. That's actually it for D tier, and I know it might seem like we're moving up the tier list quickly, but again, insects are a massively successful faction, and are going to be concentrated in the higher tiers. At the bottom of C tier, we have the Cockroach. The Cockroach is the ultimate survivor, which opted to spec into mobility, stealth, and a multitude of
Cockroaches are in fucking D tier. They bet butterflies, man.
While they don't pack much heat, their flat shape allows them to easily wedge themselves into locations that are extremely difficult for other players to attack them in. They're rather clumsy flyers, but they do have an above-average ground movement speed, enabling them to quickly scurry to cover if they see a predator player approaching. However, when caught out in the open or backed into a corner, they're fairly helpless and easily one of the most vulnerable builds in the entire insect faction. They're also somewhat carried by human mains, making temperate and tundra servers viable for them, because really, as impressive as their toxin and radiation resistance abilities are, they're quite vulnerable to the cold, and would still be mostly confined to jungle servers if not for humans unlocking the fire control ability. The biggest variants may be able to tank 1 or 2 hits, but even then, with no way to fight back, they're still pretty screwed if they fail to outright escape a fight. Next in C tier we have the earwig.
Get the fuck out of here. Earwigs don't belong anywheres.
Have a giant pair of mandibles on its rear end,
Bro,
called
they need
Circe.
negative.
As fearsome as these Circe forceps are, if we actually check the earwig's base stats, we quickly notice that, just like all of its other stats, its power stat is actually quite mediocre. As menacing as the Circe are, the actual piercing damage they can deal is fairly minimal, and can even be deflected by the most basic of armor. And even against builds without armor, the damage is so low that larger builds still don't really need to be wary of approaching an earwig, and can attack without restraint. Still, just because they can doesn't mean they do, as the earwig's intimidation factor alone is oftentimes enough to protect it from conflict. And credit where credit is due, the forceps are actually fairly decent in matchups against the soft-bodied insects, and allow the earwig to carry their targets much better than they could with their jaws. And while it may seem silly to opt for rear-facing weapons instead of the more typical forward-facing ones like mandibles and rostrums, the position does actually serve a purpose, in that it allows earwigs far greater access to burrows and tight spaces, where they can hide out and avoid conflict altogether. Of all of the weapons insects have access to, Circe might be some of the most unorthodox, which probably contributes to its ability to intimidate other players. However, I think to get out of mid-tier, earwigs need to actually have the ability to back up their threat display. They would do well to spec into some sort of venom. Venom-infused stings are a fairly common attribute for insects, so this feels like a bit of a missed opportunity. So, while certainly a viable mid-tier, don't overestimate this build's abilities. Top of
Grasshoppers.
C tier, we've got the Orthopterans, including grasshoppers, crickets, and katydids. These are the first mobility-centric builds on our list. While they're quite capable flyers, their true power comes from their saltatorial hind legs rather than their wings. Flight is an excellent defensive ability, as it allows the user to get out of reach of an attack's range. But this utility is lessened if their ability to get airborne has too much startup lag, and so instead of using their wings to get themselves up into the air, a powerful jump enables the Orthopteran mains to escape vertically at instant speed. Their excellent vision makes it extremely difficult to get within striking range without alerting them, and because their jump has such excellent frame data, landing an ambush strike on an Orthopteran can feel near impossible at times. And even if a player does manage to secure a grab, their powerful hind legs can function as quite an effective combo break. The spines on their legs augments the damage their kicks can deal, meaning that if a grasshopper can tank the first few hits of an ambush attack, they may be able to turn the tide of a confrontation and escape after dealing serious damage to the attacker. With that said, I think there are a few flaws in their strategy which I think keeps them out of the upper tiers. Grasshoppers can jump so far that there's really no way of knowing what sort of situation they're about to put themselves in. In a similar manner to the flying fish, using such a drastic escape option can sometimes end up putting you in a worse position than you were before, especially if your local meta has a lot of spider players, and although they do present a challenge, most predator players aren't disrupted by the grasshopper's kicks, and can either tank the damage outright or one-hit the grasshopper before—
There's an ad!
Enlisted is the free brand new online World War II shooter. Command a squad of soldiers and participate in legendary battles.
At the bottom of B tier we have the Hemipterans, a diverse order of insects with a few things in common, including generally having high defense and being somewhat shield-shaped. However, the most notable thing is that rather than slicing or pinching mouth parts, the Hemiptera build opts for a piercing rostrum, perfect for puncturing through tough surfaces. For the majority of Hemipteran builds, this allows them to farm XP from sources that are normally hard to access, like the energy-dense sap inside trees and stems, or the starch inside of seeds. However, there are some Hemipterans which use their sharp rostrum to deliver a venomous bite that is able to pierce through armored targets. Their venom is powerful enough to one-shot just about any other insect.
What is that laugh? I'm so silly.
tend to actually have fairly low
I'm so goofy.
for the aposomatic intimidation defense I mentioned earlier. And on top of all that, they have fairly low
Laughing like a little girl.
actually actually paying enough attention to simply dodge
Devious.
attacks and flee. Some do break this trend though, and opt for both better
I'm making
camouflage
citrus
and
vodka.
high aquatic mobility, making them some of the most fearsome aquatic builds in the game. On the herbivore side of things, Hemipterans tend to fare a bit worse. They usually still have fairly low mobility and low stealth, and their defenses may be higher than the average, but are nowhere near as impenetrable as Hemipterans on this list. They tend to rely on a chemical defense similar to some phasmids, which is where they get the name stink bugs from. However, similar to phasmids, these defenses also tend to be a bit lax
Jesus.
and often fail to deter attackers. So certainly a group with some standout members and fine for XP farming, but still nothing too broken. And topping off B tier we have the Neuroptera, a rather clumsy build with some pretty pathetic looking base stats. Genuinely one of the least agile flyers in the entire game. However, looking at the final form of this build paints a highly misleading picture of its capabilities. The larval form, which is the form they spend the vast majority of their time as, is a brutally effective predator build for any player who prefers the camping playstyle. Taking a look at the larva's stats, we see that they have incredibly high power and stealth for their size. Antlions have a devastating, venomous bite, which they use to one-shot unsuspecting players before draining all of their life points with their hollow jaws. Because of their ability to construct pitfall traps, their passive stealth rating is extremely high, making their ambush playstyle unbelievably effective. As if escape wasn't hard enough, once the prey gets caught in their trap, the antlion even has the ability to launch projectiles to stun its target, making escape a near impossibility. I have an entire video dedicated to the overpowered abilities of Neuropteran larvae, but in short, they are what the earwig pretends to be. If you took the earwig Circe, put them in front and made them sharper and gave them deadly venom to boot, you'd have an antlion. So why the weak adult form? Having spent all of their evolution points optimizing their larval form, they spend hardly any time at all as adults. They don't even have the ability to eat in this form, and really only exist to be a vessel that allows players to find each other and complete the mating questline, something they lack the ability to do in their much less mobile larval form. So while I do think it'd be more impressive if they didn't take such a massive cut to their power level during their final level up, there's no denying that for the vast majority of their playtime, these builds are an absolute menace to encounter. At the bottom of A tier, we have a personal favorite of mine, the Mantis.
The Mantis should get higher, man. That shit got fucking featured in Kung Fu Panda, man.
And grabbing their targets using powerful spiked raptorial forelimbs. If we take a look at the Mantis' stats, we see that the Mantis has one of the highest base power stats of any non-venomous insect. It also has a stealth stat similar to that of a walking stick, which it desperately needs in order to be able to get within striking range of its targets. Its clumsy flight and slow ground movement speed makes chasing prey basically impossible. However, what they lack in movement speed they easily make up for with strike speed. The Mantis' strike is lightning quick, to the point that it's easily able to hit targets that are normally considered hopelessly evasive. As powerful as these strikes are, one weakness of the strategy is that the grappling attack doesn't immobilize the target, and actually brings them within range of a counterattack. And while the Mantis' large size enables it to tank most counterattacks, attacking a venomous target can end up being a serious blunder for a Mantis player. So definitely a powerful high tier predator, but not one that's so invincible that Mantis mains can get careless. Next in A tier we have the flies. This does get a bit confusing due to
A tier?
other builds that use the word fly in their name.
What's an A tier?
This group, the true flies, are defined by a very specific
Flies.
feature. True flies only have 2
Wow.
wings. This might
Fucking
seem like
Jesus.
a major trade-off.
Flies are an A
but
tier.
While it does leave them more vulnerable to having their flight ability disabled
Yeah.
and taking damage, the perk they
And the
unlock
Mantis
in
was
return is
in-
more than worth the risk.
I don't even know.
Instead of a second pair of wings, flies swap them out for halteres, a sensory structure that grants flies an insanely powerful buff to their aerial maneuverability and their evasion. Their superior aerobatics make them all but impossible to land a hit on midair, and also enables predator fly variants, such as the robber fly, to launch incredibly precise attacks mid-flight, and take down targets that would normally be too powerful to confront head-on, but are unable to effectively counterattack during flight. However, most flies are either scavengers or parasites, using their quick mobility and superior reaction speed to weave past the defenses and avoid the sweeping counterattacks of larger players. While they do have an extremely short lifespan, there's no denying that they make the most of the time they do have, and are one of the most efficient and evasive builds in the entire game. But while flies are excellent aerial combatants, they are no match for the ultimate aerial hunter build.
Dragonflies.
The Dragonfly is similar to the Crocodile in that it is one of the most well-optimized PvP builds that has ever existed in the game. It's already such an efficient build that across several balance patches and game expansions, the Dragonfly has seen very few changes to its core strategy. They simply aren't necessary, as the Dragonfly is already equipped to deal with just about anything the devs throw at it. So what is it about the Dragonfly that has given it such a competitive edge? Dragonflies have the best aerial maneuverability of any build in the game, and the highest top flight speed of any insect. Unlike most insects, dragonflies have spec'd into the ability to move their wings independently of each other, which grants them the ability to move in any direction without needing to turn and face that direction, meaning they can strafe mid-flight and even fly backwards. This ability makes their flight more energetically demanding than it is for other insects. So this is a high commitment, high reward playstyle. In order to ensure a proper payoff for their incredible agility, dragonflies have also spec'd into what is arguably the best vision of any arthropod. Extremely large, high resolution eyes that take up basically their entire head, granting them full 360-degree vision. This allows them to track all potential targets around them with ease, and allows them to see attacks coming long before they're actually at risk of getting hit. Unlike many of the other builds on this list, which either have a powerful larval form but a weak adult form, or a powerful adult form that can only achieve this after enduring an extremely vulnerable early game, the dragonfly is a high-tier predator in both forms. While everyone knows they dominate the skies when they reach their max level, what you might not know is that dragonflies are one of the most vicious aquatic builds in the game, able to one-shot similarly sized fish and amphibian players. Now, while it was tempting to put dragonflies in S tier, they do have a few shortcomings. While they are generally able to see approaching predators before it's too late, they aren't particularly good at avoiding accidentally flying into dangerous situations. They're easily trapped by spiderwebs and are often snatched out of the air when flying too close to another player. In addition, dragonflies cannot walk, meaning that their energy-expensive flight ability is their only option if they need to reposition themselves. Not that devastating of a weakness, but it's enough that this ancient build can't quite break into S tier. First in S tier we have the beetle. The beetle is the epitome of the insect build. A bunch of extraordinarily powerful insects that seem like they shouldn't really function properly when used in conjunction with each other, yet somehow actually end up synergizing unbelievably well. Beetles are the premier tanks of the insect faction, with an outer cuticle sturdy enough to deflect just about any attack with ease. It has such a high AC that it can confidently plow through a swarm of aggressive ants without taking
Jesus.
something that even many reptiles and amphibians can't get away with. Now, typically when a build is heavily invested into defenses like this, it has to make a lot of sacrifices in its other stats. This is the opposite of what we see in the beetle build, as in addition to being the most heavily armored insect in the game, it also excels in several other metrics. The most obvious of which is its power stat. Beetles can obliterate their enemies in combat using powerful jaws and explosive chemical weapons. Their ability to bulldoze opponents with their forward-facing weaponry is hard to overstate, but in my opinion, their real damage potential comes from beetles which possess the ability to blast their attackers with a toxic or acidic chemical burst. But that's not where the craziness stops, because although you'd probably expect a high-power tank to be a slow, lumbering build,
Why did the
beetles
chicken
also
cross
possess
the
the
road
top terrestrial movement
to
speed
get
of any
to the
insect.
other
And
side?
if that weren't enough, despite often having heavy horns or giant mandibles, packing a tank full of noxious chemicals, being clad in heavy armor, and strapped with enough muscle to move objects far, far above their weight class, the beetle is still able to fly without much issue. Now, they did sacrifice one of their sets of wings for additional armor, so they can't perform the advanced aerobatics that dragonflies and houseflies can. But the ability to get from point A to point B via flight is still extremely valuable. both for escaping danger and for reaching valuable points of interest. In short, beetles have essentially every ability they could ask for. They are an amalgamation of everything that makes the insect faction so powerful, and so it's no surprise that beetle species comprise a whopping 25% of all species in the game. They're so versatile.
Where the fuck did Maddox go? Ah, he left. What a bitch.
He left a while ago.
Beetle player can find a
What a flat angle.
Swissy. You better get back on that fucking video.
Why'd you leave Discord?
Cause you guys are I told Jack to shut the fuck up cause I'm here.
I guess that's true. Jack, you gotta shut the fuck up.
Suck my ball.
Every Tuesday. Jack, shut up. Your bedtime.
No.
Fat neek. Jack, if you beat me in Mortal Kombat, you're not a fairy. Joking. Stephen Hawking. Jaden, why are you watching, man? Jaden!
Shut up.
Found footage.
Why are you watching Mark Polish?
Mark Polish.
Who got so sad over a rat?
Jax!
Jax! I have the exact same blanket, Jack.
Get the exact same blanket, bro. Where?
Where'd it gone? I'm gonna go get it. It might. Oh wait,
Fuck.
it might be a rat. The rabbit's
Fuck.
my hat. Oh, but I think so. Oh fuck! I don't even want to go.
I wanna say that shit.
I do have the blanket. Save war.
Put it in the juke group.
What is it?
Put it in the juke group.
I can't.
What?
Jade, I'm gonna unsubscribe if you don't tell me.
Go in droop group, dumbass.
Shut the hell up. Heard you, dummy. Get some hearing.
Your shit is delayed.
It won't load for me. It won't load. Otherwise, my connectors.
Holy fuck.
Fuck. Bro, why is there? The yeah. Yeah. Jack, cover them down. Get them down.
What the fuck? You took your fingers on that orange.
Wait, I wanna see that. Is that an actual video? It's just a video. So I'm saving that shit. I see it now. Oh shit.
Fuck yeah! I did better and I'm drinking. How'd I do that? Fuck you. I gotta turn down something. Huh?
Oh, did that say? Jack, I'm exposing
Wake
you.
up. Wake up.
No.
Wake up. 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 Wake up.
Jade, look at the group chat. You're missing everything. Okay. You're like... Hold on. I got an idea. Oh no, no.
Wait.
Squeezing my foot together. Wait, I'm gonna squeeze my foot as hard as I can here. Ready? I might break my tongue. Okay. My fingers are wet. Shit. Oh my god. Whoa. There we go. There we go, boys. Oh, I don't even know if I want it. Fucking hot are you, man? What the fuck?
Ow, I hit my head.
Hold on. We'll do a photo like that too. Hold on. Boys, this one's gonna surprise. This one's gonna surprise you. Oh, this is probably my best one yet. I like upgraded from Jaden's.
Jack, you gotta do it.
Hold your horses, I'm not that flexible.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We gotta do something else. Poor. No, I want to say, there we go. Oh my god, you can just like, can't tell what it is, and then you can just see the two toes.
I feel like mine's better because I got the lips.
James is the best.
Man, I bit two of my toes off.
Oh, I can't breathe, man. Holy fuck.
Toes off. Yours is just like.
You look like you were into it.
That's what I was going for.
You were fucking.
Well, let's hope that our photos, this photo.
Hold on.
Let's hope our photos don't get leaked like that fucking volleyball team. Be a trend on TikTok.
Hold on, let me answer my phone real quick, guys. Break my fucking leg. Guys, the drip group. What the fuck, man? Look at Jax. Oh my god. I think that's enough. I started this.
Why is my foot so red, man? I'm like gripping that shit.
I fucking started this shit. You know what? I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end this shit right now.
Yeah, end it by sending a dick pic.
Why's your foot so red? Yeah, let me just do that real quick. I'm like fucking. Oh my god, my foot just got a cramp. That hurt a lot. Oh, it's still getting. Oh my god, what is happening? Oh my god. Oh yeah, my cramp. Cramp. I had a cramp taking that photo. Christ, that hurt. Jane, this better be on your stream.
It is.
It's not.
It is. Well, the conversation is.
My fucking toes have ascended, Jack.
I need to brush my teeth when we get fucking.
Oh my good god.
Hold on, Jack. I got one personally for you right now.
Chew. Dun 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 dun.
La da la da 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 da. Oh god. That was just.
That was something.
Yeah, I started that shit. I'm proud. That was. The whole pack. Like, what the fuck?
No. Oh my. Dude. Okay.
Green.
Oh, my feet hurt.
I took a picture of his toes to me. And then I took a picture both by me. And then that's the funniest game. Oh, boys.
Oh no, that's yeah.
All
It's funny.
Well, I need to check.
Run away, man.
Jack, what's wrong? Jax is like the most sus.
What the fuck is that?
Looking at the camera.
Oh my god!
What? I want to see
Putting it in the
right
drip
now.
group. We're putting it in the drip group.
Alfonso. Nah, man, they did my boy Alfonso dirty, dog.
What about
Cat man.
Paco. Get off my For You page.
That is a fat fucking squirrel. To pound.
The snow TikTok.
Oh my god.
I can't get over. I can't get over these fucking photos, man. I yelled, "What the hell?"
I
when
sent
he
Jack
threw
this.
up. There's a skinless body behind Domino's I work at.
Why does my fridge sound like the fucking back rooms?
It does. But I actually wasn't pretending.
I took the walk to Poland. Who's this?
Music. What is it? Spider-Man music.
Cal was British.
Man, I need some cognac. Poland.
Damn the choice.
Fuck!
Oh.
The fuck is that thing?
British Cal.
That's fucking dysmorphed cow. Jack, look at your comments. God damn.
Cal, you look at comments. Can't even have cows in Ohio. Must be from Ohio.
I wonder if I get like a. Bro, man. This game requires too much shit from me, man. They expect me to use two hands and then like what do you want from me? I gotta use my foot for this shit, man. Wonder if I can turn on a camera. Do I have a camera? Camera. Nigga, fuck off!
Sue me, mama, those grippers.
What did you say?
Suey mama. You know, like
Mama, those grippers.
Sue me, mama, those grippers. Like, I don't know how else. This video. This fucking video, man. Oh, I can't speak. This fucking bitch drum scared me.
Oh man. That was funny.
I got third fucking place? Get the fuck out of here!
Jack.
Yeah. What is it?
God damn!
Why is this video taking so long to send?
Shitty internet.
Oh my.
Why are you hiding the grip?
He already says at the end though. Zooey mama those grippers. Jack,
fuck you, game.
Your 6 messages.
What?
I'll be.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
What?
Misa might go clean.
Yeah, I was thinking honestly the same thing.
Okay, can you be done?
Bye bye, good night.
Look at what I sent you for.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
It's very inspirational.
Show me your feet.
What the f fuck, man?
What?
British cow.
A cat. E.T. Anyways.
Alright, good night. Love you. No, wait, I don't want to do that. Ugh.